Hello, welcome back to Football United TV. Thank you so much for tuning in recently and subscribing. We've got the man that is Gem CFC, Chelsea fan. How are you doing, mate?
Not bad, bro. Not bad. Happy with my team's result over the weekend. I'm sure you ain't as much, though, are you?
I'm a little bit sour about it, mate. Yeah, like how confident every United fan was after the Champions League result.
Mm.
PSG and RB Leipzig going into Arsenal and then losing 1-0 on a penalty where, we've been blamed out for scoring penalties every single game that we've played, and I think Arsenal sort of shoved it to us. But what did you make of it, Gem, outside the box?
Well, looking in, I think the one thing that Arsenal done really, really well was pressure you guys high up the pitch. Now, I do think Ollie has got a little to blame. I think the first half it was pretty obvious that the diamond wasn't working. And for me, he should have gone for a 4-2-3-1. Pogba was struggling on the wing. You could tell he just wasn't enjoying it. Bruno wasn't getting enough involvement. And it goes back to Arsenal again playing. Arsenal deserved it. They played well. But it was the whole element of them pressuring you guys higher up the pitch, which I've not seen them do under Arteta. Usually they sit back and they allow people onto them. But yesterday it was very in your face. Didn't give you guys any chance to breathe. And I thought overall they deserved the win. You can still be slightly critical of them because they had so many chances in the first half to be 2-3 up and they wasn't. And it took a penalty, for them to score. And if that didn't come across, then I think it probably would have been 0-0, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, it was quite close, wasn't it, really, to be fair? A penalty made that the match winner. If it would have been a 0-0 all the way to the end, you think that someone would have scraped in that 1-0? I mean, it just seemed...
To be honest, looking at... When it got to half-time and it was 0-0, I genuinely thought you guys were going to grow back into it. And I actually thought you were still going to win it because I just thought you couldn't play any worse than you did that first half. I just think there's no way Man United are going to come out and play like they did that first half. Ollie should... there's no way Ollie's going to allow them to come out and play like that. And it seemed like he did. He had Scott McTominay who was on the pitch and... You could just tell he was struggling. For me, I wouldn't have started him. I think Fred is a starter, but potentially maybe Matic, maybe someone else next to him, even Pogba, maybe. Pogba, and then at least you could have put someone on the wing more. So I don't know, but it just didn't work, did it? I don't think, the diamond yesterday.
So what do you think, though, Gem, the difference between the RB Leipzig diamond shape that Solskjaer used against Arsenal? Why wouldn't have that worked against a team like Arsenal? What do you think was different?
I think it was more to do with the way Arsenal played. I thought they were very aggressive. I don't think Leipzig was when they played against you. I think they gave you a lot of respect on it. I mean, the ball, the Leipzig game was high tempo. It was very high tempo, and it was all up there. But with Arsenal, it seemed like they just from the whistle, they just didn't let you breathe. Like every time you got the ball, because you was trying to play out the back. And, every time you knocked it up forward to Greenwood or Rashford, they couldn't hold the ball up. It was coming into him. And as soon as he had it, and Gabriel on him or whoever it was else on him, Partey, every time Pogba got the ball, Partey was in his face. They were just so aggressive. And they kept, yes, you can blame the players because they should still be doing better than that. Maybe releasing the ball a little bit quicker and extra. But other than that, I think you've got to just give it to Arsenal and say that they turned up and you guys just didn't turn up. And that was it, really. And expected, really, when you think about it. If you look at the last 5 games, the last 3 or 4 games you have played, never expected you to have won all of them up to the Arsenal game. And I know you drew with us as well, but it happens, mate. You just got to take it on the chin and just move on, I'd say.
Absolutely. And Ads, mate, you're in, mate. The Realist United fan. How are you doing, mate?
Good, bro. How are you, man?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. We've had time to settle down after that result last night and think about what we feel happened and the mistakes and the positives. What do you think, in your opinions, mate? What happened last night for Man United?
There's no positives at all. There's no positives at all. If anyone finds positives, then I don't know what game they watched. The formation was great. I felt really confident going into it. I looked at the team sheet. I was kind of like, yeah, we're gonna completely destroy Arsenal. It was just a mess. It was just a complete mess. The players weren't there. No player turned up, and I feel like Luke Shaw and Fred were our best players by far, but they still weren't good enough. I feel like McTominay is always just going to be that player that starts or gets introduced into the game. He's never not going to play a game. And I feel like Matic should feel kind of upset with Ollie, as should Fred. Pogba and Bruno, no fucking leadership at all yesterday. It was just a shambles, man.
What? So Gem was saying about Gem. You were saying about Fred not starting and McTominay and etc. Like, do you think that was the difference?
No, I just don't think your key players, Bruno, Pogba, Greenwood, Rashford, didn't really turn up. I don't even think it was your defence's fault. I know everyone was saying, but I don't think your defence actually had a bad game. I don't even think De Gea had a bad game, to be honest. I think you were just let down on the attacking offence side of things. You know, your big players up the pitch weren't performing. Bruno couldn't get in the game. You know, McTominay shouldn't have played in my eyes. He shouldn't have started that game. You know, and then you go and take off Fred, like, and you replace him for Matic. It's like he's your box to box. He's the only player in your midfield that plays there that's box to box. A bit like what Partey does for Arsenal. Like, you don't take them kind of players off because you need them to get around the pitch. You know what I mean? With their energy and that. We've got the same with Kante. No, he's very box to box. He likes shutting people down quickly, winning the ball high. You need them kind of players in your team if you're going to get the best out of the guys in front of him. And it didn't work. It just didn't work at the end of the day.
Going on that, like having Matic at Chelsea as well, was you like sorry to see him leave? Do you think like he gave an element of good play for Man United going on from what he was doing at Chelsea?
I like Matic at Chelsea. I thought he was a good player. You know, him next to Ramirez and then him next to Kante when we won the league with Conte was amazing. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely amazing. But when he left us, I was a little bit gutted because I know how good he is at just sitting. He is a proper sitter. He'll sit in front of the defence and he will allow everyone in front of him to do their thing. But you don't have to worry because you know he's there. Do you know what I mean? And he's a big outfit. He's strong. He's not blessed with pace, but he covers the ground well. He's got experience, isn't he? And you guys, to be fair, looking at your midfield, yes, Fred should be playing. But for me, second should be him, really. It shouldn't be McTominay, in my eyes.
What do you think of that, Realist?
No, it's facts. And I feel like talking about Ramirez, I think he was one of the best midfielders to ever play in the Premier, in my opinion. This 21st century, I generally think he's one of the best centre mids ever played. Yet he is underrated, and no one really talks about his legacy. Nothing. No, I've heard nothing about his play at all. I think he's going to be like Fred. I think Fred's going to be like Ramirez because no one's giving him the attention and no one's giving him the love he deserves. Because Ramirez was one of the best players, in my opinion, for Chelsea when he played. Talking about what Gem said as well. Like I said, there's no way you pick McTominay over Fred. It just doesn't work. And Matic is a proper sitter as well. Whenever he played, he does the job. Under Mourinho, he was dead. He was pretty awful. But under Ollie, he's looked way more solid. He's had the proper turnaround.
I think yesterday what it would have done is I would have started Matic and I would have said to Matic, look, you sit in front of them and defend and you just let Fred do what he does, which is box to box. I think that would have worked better. I don't think, like when you play McTominay, I think he tries to be like Fred. Like he tries to get around the pitch, play higher up the pitch, win balls. I don't think you needed that yesterday. I think you just needed one box-to-box player in Fred, who's the best at doing that at Man United, and then one proper sitter. If you're going to play that formation, have one proper sitter, allow Fred to just support Bruno, Pogba, whoever else is trying to break. Because to be honest, to be fair to Pogba yesterday, he got a lot of criticism. And yes, he gave the penalty away. And yes, it was wrong. But for me, I felt Bruno had a worse game than him. If you looked at Pogba in the second half, he was isolated. Every time I watched him, he was trying to take all the players on his own, trying to do 1-2s with Rashford, get in the box. Like he was trying. Do you know what I mean? Like he was at least trying to do something. Like with Bruno, he just disappeared for me. He wasn't even no point even being on the pitch.
That's the problem. Because Bruno's one of our newest signings. They don't show as much hate as they do to Pogba, who's actually, in my opinion, miles better than Bruno. I just feel like at Man United, you're not going to see the Pogba that bought for way over $1 million. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he's a class player, but Man United's not the place for him. And I said it again and again. He's best off somewhere else where he'll be appreciated because we don't appreciate him. Clearly, we don't because we wouldn't be paying him that position. know what I'm trying to say? And like you said, we're not going to get, like a few people have said, we're not going to get the precision that Bruno gives us going forward. But it's not like Pogba's so slow, so like he can't show his skill up front. But he's not a United player in my opinion. I think he just needs to ship out somewhere else because this is not a place for him. He's just going to keep getting criticised.
I think Donny van de Beek would have been good for you yesterday because he's out of all of them, he's probably the best at holding the ball and linking up play and 1-2 touching and getting the ball moving. Bruno's not that. Bruno's more give me the ball and I'll play a 10-yard or 20-yard ball over the top to Rashford. Like there's no build up to his play when you watch Bruno. It's just he's always thinking how to get that killer ball in all the time, and you don't need that constantly in every game. Do you know what I mean?
So let's just flip on to Chelsea's result, 3-0. What did you make of that, Gem? You know what I mean? It's a good result. Like, you seem to be gelling at the moment.
Well,
I'm saying that?
Yeah, our recent results would say that. 4 clean sheets with Mendy and Thiago Silva in the team is great. I think the tweaking formation suits us more with just Kante playing where I believe is his best position. Just leave him there and let him hold, and then have Mount and Havertz like in a double pivot in front of him. It worked. It works. I'm not saying we could play that against the top 6 teams. I don't know if we could, because we might leave ourselves a little bit vulnerable in the middle. But yeah, it worked against Burnley. And people like Burnley, when you go to their grounds, they just sit. So a lot of the times you're expected to try and break them down. And I think Lampard's been getting a lot of criticism recently, about his tactics, this, that, and the other. And the other day against Burnley, I think he got it spot on, and that's why I'm probably one of the only Chelsea fans. There's not many out there that will back him. I'm not going to criticise him on a game-to-game basis. I'm going to criticise him on a full season basis. Does that make sense? So, yeah, good result. And we're on to the next game. I think we've got Rennes on Wednesday, which I think we should win. And then we're off to Saturday. Saturday we're at home to Sheffield United, who ain't playing that well as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good in your favour, isn't it? And I'm looking at Man United as well. Ads, and I'm just thinking we got Basikshir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that could be the bounce back for Man United? Like Jem was saying, like they've got a really good, easy run in now for a couple of games to pick up their form and to gel together. Do you think Man United can do anything from the Champions League and have an Everton at the weekend?
That's the problem. We've been playing these hard games with you dominating the opposition. I don't know why we couldn't beat Arsenal. Like, they're not the best side. They're fronted as because of their history, but they're not the best side. In my opinion, if you haven't got Aubameyang, who's scoring the goals, man? Come on. Are Arsenal really Arsenal without him? No, they're not. Yes, I'd say without Aubameyang, you're only going to get missed chances with Willian and Lacazette playing. You're only going to get missed chances. You only get one goal out of 2 games, which is poor. If we are beating these big teams, why can't we do it to these little teams as well? Because stupid, man. We are losing to the likes of who, in my opinion, are a mediocre club compared to our club. Because look at the players that we have. We have Greenwood, Fred, Rashford. All of these players are class, set to be class as well, because some of them aren't even in their prime yet. But we could beat the crap out of them, like we did with PSG and RBL, right? They're a good side. They're 2 good sides, and we stacked the crap out of them. Why are we losing to Arsenal and struggling about our future fixtures? Makes no sense. So, yes, we could beat them. We can go on a run, but just 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, I get that, mate. And you know what? Going on that, let's ask someone outside of Europe right now in Rio de Janeiro. Actually, he's just gone, but he'll be back. Marley, chilling. Are you there? I was saying it the other day. I don't really know what's going to happen this season, like in anything really. Do you know what I mean? But you look at it, Leeds are doing very well, and a lot of Newcastle beating Everton the other day. You didn't expect it.
It's very unpredictable. That's the one thing I would say. It's one of them seasons that I feel like it's going to take the team to be whoever's most consistent that can put the most wins together can win. And it might not just be the top 6. It might be, I don't know, someone random out of the box, Everton. I don't know. I wouldn't say Leeds, but maybe an Everton or someone like that. You just don't know. It's really weird. And I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens, isn't it? It's interesting. It's exciting for us. Do you know what I mean? At least it's not boring, and it's not like the typical. You remember the Chelsea United days when it was only just Chelsea versus United for the title every blooming season, or for example, Liverpool, Man City, which is what's been recent as well. So here he is.
Marley, did you watch any of the games yesterday, and what were your thoughts on Man United versus Arsenal? What did you make of that?
Mate, unfortunately, I missed all the games. Like I was in a small little town in a neighbor state because my grandma just turned 80 this weekend. So I followed everything. Like I have the stats and all that. I watched some highlights, but unfortunately, like, I'm gonna watch the whole game tomorrow so that I can talk a little more. But it seems logical to me because United's really bad. So
yeah,
it makes sense. I mean, you guys were. I tried to tell this to ads a couple of times, but like it's we generally talk in a stream with a bunch of people, so it's hard to get the whole thought across. But I like the fact that United went on a good run because you guys won like 3 of the last 4 games against good teams as well. Like you had a good run, but I feel like that just gives a lifeline to Ali, who's clearly not on United standards, But I wasn't confident whatsoever, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I didn't think we'd get a result. Arsenal has been playing really poorly this season. But apparently the one game I freaking missed was our best performance so far, which is really frustrating.
Yeah, we just really listen. Like, me and Gem have had to listen to the absolute crap from people saying that Leicester, like the game against Leicester was their best performance this season. I just can't be hearing a gal. He said, no, honestly, lad, I'm saying this now, yeah, and I quote, our performance against Leicester was better than yesterday. It wasn't.
No,
their performance against Leicester was atrocious. Worse than our performance yesterday, in my opinion.
You know
actually,
what?
No, let me rephrase that. Our performance yesterday was worse than that, but it was still shit. Just saying. Like,
you know what? I'm gonna agree with you in a way, but not totally, because it was atrocious against Leicester. It was not one of our worst performances of the season because Arsenal has been playing so bad. Like, at least in the first half against Leicester, we sort of dominated the game against a semi-decent side. So can't complain as much, man. Like watching the game beforehand against Rapid Vienna, where we needed Aubameyang to come in to beat a team that would probably fight relegation on the 2nd or 3rd division in England. That was frustrating. It was really frustrating for us to lose to Leicester as well, but I definitely wouldn't say it was one of our worst performances of the season. Au contraire, actually. Like, it was one of the better ones, actually.
So do you think, like, coming from an Arsenal, Man United fans and Chelsea fans, we've all had our ups and downs already this season?
Yeah.
I said this on Calling the Banter stream. I sent a super chat through. I said, Manchester United, Arsenal and Chelsea will get back to their best. It's just going to take time for Man United to pick up the pace with Arsenal and Chelsea. Because Chelsea, in my opinion, I can see them winning the trophy this season. I can see them winning something this season. They are solid. And obviously, yes, I was watching the game with Prime on Saturday. I thought Zuma was solid. I thought Abraham was solid. No one gave him the credit, but he was solid. Ziyech, obviously, he's not going to go unmentioned. He was solid.
Magician.
Kante, solid.
Better
than Bruno. He's way better. 1 second. Let's clear this now. Ziyech is better than Bruno. Yeah? Ziyech is better than Bruno.
That's big. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm saying that's a big statement.
I think there's something you can't. I don't think you can say that until Ziyech has played at least half a season or a season, just to compare. Because he's only been here. He's only played 2 games. He's been injured most of the season up to now. So for me, it's one of them ones where you got to wait. I mean,
plus they do play in one similar position, but they're not similar players.
No,
like, it's tough to compare because mostly Ziyech is going to be playing as a winger, and Bruno Fernandes is not. He's mostly going to be playing as a PK taker.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think out of the 3 managers, Arteta, Lampard, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, all young managers, who's more likely to be the most successful out of these 3?
Well, so far Ole has been, but he's been shit at the same time. That's only because Lampard and Arteta hasn't been in the job as much. That's what I'm going to say. But potential-wise, Lampard, in my opinion, I think Lampard's going to do bits for Chelsea.
Yeah, but this is the thing, right? With Lampard, he's been given a 200 million war chest. Right? He's got players that we needed, so we've actually covered the areas that we've needed to. So there's going to be more of an expectation for him to perform. Doesn't matter if he's been here 2 years or 20 years. That expectation level's increased because he's, Abramovich has spent that money. With Arsenal, yes, they've bought players, but I feel like Thomas Partey was needed, but I feel like a central attacking midfielder would probably would have wanted that more, because I don't think Arsenal have a creative player in their squad. You know what I mean? And that's a big problem at the moment there for them, But I don't know. What do you think, Charlie?
Well, addressing the first thing before, I have no idea how Ali is right now the most successful one. How?
I'm only saying because he's played a lot more games and won quite a few more than Lampard and Arteta. That's only because he's been in the job longer. That's what I said.
So I would say the thing is, Chelsea has a bigger chance of being successful than Arsenal because they have more money, they have a better squad. I feel like Chelsea has the second best squad in the league right now. Their squad is better than Liverpool's. Their team is not, but their squad is. So, but as a manager, man, just like I feel like the most promising one is Arteta. I feel like Lampard looks like a great manager for a team that's supposed to overachieve. Like he seems to be a very motivational coach. All of that. Ali doesn't. I don't see him as being much. And I disagree on the Partey thing, man. We definitely needed a creative midfielder for sure. I wouldn't say like. I feel like Willian's a good creator. You're a Chelsea fan. Like you've seen him from there for a while. Like he's good at giving assists. He's a pretty creative player, but I don't know, the whole creativity thing for me, man. It just I hate Ozil fans. I hate them. I hate them more than I hate United fans, like Tottenham fans. I hate them so much. So
Charlie and Ozil fans are mostly just people that don't like football.
Yeah.
Well, no, Ozil fans are like Pogba fans. They only support the player and not the club. So if their player isn't playing or not in the team, it's like, they forget about the club as a whole.
And then you also have people like Prime, who's constantly saying that Arsenal needs Ozil, and that's just not good.
But wait a sec, Charlie, does Dani Ceballos do enough in that position?
Oh no, mate! Like we definitely need reinforcements. If we got Awar or Szoboszlai, that would have been amazing, like absolutely amazing. But the whole thing with Ozil is like people say we need creativity, so we should bring Ozil back. It's like saying we need speed. Let's buy Usain Bolt. Like a football player is supposed to do more than just the one thing.
Charlie,
and like he's
didn't some Australian team give him a trial, Usain Bolt?
Yeah, they did.
I think that's happened. Yes,
and they.
I think he trained with Borussia as well. Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah, he was at Dortmund. Yeah, he was at Dortmund.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
He never made the cut though.
As he shouldn't, right? Like he's not a football player.
It's all right running, isn't it? But if you don't run with the ball and you leave it behind, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not. The thing is, in all fairness to Usain, he's actually not a bad player. I just don't think he's fit for football leagues. I think he can play football, but to turn pro-ish, it's not good for him because he's a runner. He's just going to outrun the position and just get the ball behind him. So what's the point?
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about like a... Go ahead.
No, don't, Charlie. Go for it.
If you're talking about like Sunday league stuff, like amateur football, like he seems to love the game. Like he's a United fan, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
I think he is. Yeah, like he loves the game. Like he's. You can't argue that Usain Bolt is athletic, right? Like if he's not athletic, who is? But he's not a professional player. Like he spent his years training to run. That's what he does.
Point. Yeah, he's a sprinter. He's a sprinter. He's not a footballer. He can play football, but like it's like anyone. Anyone can kick a ball, play down the park. Do you know what I mean? But being a professional footballer is completely different thing, isn't it?
Even in the relay, he found it hard to like take the baton. Do you know what I mean? It was like I've got to run. I think like, oh okay, oh crap, like I'm not used to this.
You guys, like, both of you United fans, like, you remember that really iconic Cristiano Ronaldo goal where he just sprinted from one side to the other and, like, shot the ball, like, it seemed like 400 million miles an hour? Like, both could have done that faster, but then he would miss the shot.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's
not all about your sprinting. It's about your technical ability. And has he got that? That's the thing. Has he got the technical ability?
Good luck. Gravity always helps as well. You know, like with Messi, you know, the fact that he's very fast and he can like literally whip around players because he's got that low sense of gravity. I admire the player anyway to be able to do that when you're very small.
And he's a very good dribbler as well. That does help.
Oh yeah.
It's not even that. It's not even that. See the height of the brother as well. This guy's 6'5", 6'5", something like that. It's massive. I think he's tall, but it really helps. The height does not help at all.
It's like a speedy Peter Crouch.
So that's a Crouch. Yeah, I was going to say that. He'll just put on your dreadlocks when he takes a header in the World Cup. And
I mean, speedy, athletic, more respected as well. Like, but sure.
What do you make of all the other results this weekend? I mean, looking at Newcastle beating Everton, which was kind of a shock because of the way Everton have been playing recently, and the enthusiasm that they've got from Ancelotti. What did you make of a result like that?
Not for me. You lose James Rodriguez, who has been their top performer, and you have
Richarlison.
And Richarlison. Yeah, so I was about to say. Sorry, I forgot Brazilian inheritance over it. Yeah, and Richarlison. They're the two. Them two players are very key for the way Everton play, and they bring a lot of ability to their squad. Once you take them out of the squad, who they got to come on? And I mean, Charlie might know. Is it Barnard? How good is Barnard, mate?
I hate him. He's just like I would have taken him at my Brazilian team, but for the Prem, it makes no sense. The dude's 4 feet tall.
So I was going to say. So there you go, a Brazilian fan.
It's not even that. It's not even that. Look who they have on the bench. They have Decore. Listen, you play James and Decore. Listen, you're just going to get a magical midfield with them two players on there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you take one of them substances out, they struggle because they haven't really got that strength in depth on the bench. You know, so it's not a big loss. It's not a big surprise to me without them, to be honest.
Me neither.
But do you think, like, if they have that again, like, do you think there's any way that Ancelotti can work around it? I mean, they've still got Calvert-Lewin, like, who's banging in the goals, especially headers as well, might I add. Like,
Ancelotti's been, in my opinion, he's been great to start the season already.
Oh yeah,
he's been great.
He's a great manager. That's why wherever he goes, he's always been successful. Always, it doesn't matter what he does. And even at Chelsea, I was upset when he left us. You know, the guy finished second and he got sacked. It was like, why? You know what I mean? And prior to that, he'd won us a double. Like, it was just like, how do you, you know, like, he knows how to win. He's a bit like, I like Mourinho, but I'd actually rather have Ancelotti in the long run, because Mourinho for me is not a long-term manager. As with Ancelotti, I think he is. So
the reason why that is because Ancelotti actually can put an arm around a player, and my own opinion, I don't think Mourinho likes to do that.
Yeah, he splashed the cash on a few players, and he didn't even care about them once he bought them at United. So, dude, just back to James. Yeah, go on, mate. Sorry.
You know what it is with Mourinho? He's a very here and now manager. He's someone that he lives for the moment. He has to win things, and if he doesn't, and he gets caught suspect, he kind of dries up.
And he starts blaming the players as well.
Exactly.
If things don't work out, like, it all goes to shit. Like, there's no turning things around with Mourinho.
Yeah.
Like,
no, that's a really strange, isn't it? Because I don't think he used to be like that when he was at Porto. He seemed to be more about the team and running up the touchline and being that enthusiastic manager. Go on, Gem. I know you got to say something.
No, to be honest, it's worked. That's how Mourinho has been successful in his years as a manager. Because if you look at it, wherever he's gone, he's won. Italy, Spain, England, Portugal. You know, the man knows how to win. It's a bit like the way Chelsea football clubs run, actually, if you look at it, because Abramovich has got the attitude of, if you don't win me something, you're gone. And Mourinho's that kind of manager where if he doesn't win something, he just gets bored and goes on to the next thing. You know what I mean? So it's sort of the same motto.
So do you think Mourinho thinks that he is like anybody else, like Ads, do you think that Mourinho thinks that he's bigger than every club that he goes to? It's all about him as a manager?
I wouldn't like to say that because I have much respect for him. I just say he's got a big ego, and he basically, yes, like Gem said, if he doesn't win anything, he dries up. But if you look at it, at nearly every club he's gone to, he always clashes with the biggest player, and that's his problem as well. You know what I'm trying to say? I wouldn't say he's selfish. I just say the ego takes his toll, and it gets a bit too big. And prime examples, he cuts from the club. He's done with it. But before he cuts, he tends to fall out with the biggest player at the club. Like, he's fallen out with Pogba at United. He's fallen out with Balotelli. He's fallen out with all these players, right? And as soon as that happens, the press get involved. He's not winning cups. He's not winning any. He's not winning any trophies, and then he cuts from the club. I think that's just what he likes to do. No, let me phrase that. It's not what he likes to do. It's what he has to do in a way. Because if you're not doing stuff at a club, then who's really going to back the club? Who's going to be watching them? Who's going to be supporting them? You know what I'm trying to say? People are just going to get bored. But he's the one who gets bored first, and then he leaves and then moves on to his thing. You know what I'm trying to say? So
he's sort of like a kid with a new toy, plays with it. Everybody else is still in love with it after a year, and he's like, "No, I'm done with that now. I'm on to the new thing." Is that good for a manager though these days? Because like Jem was saying, like what I was saying, he didn't used to be like that, and he seems to have changed his mentality in how he looks at his players. Maybe because of the wage structure and the fact that players are a bit more richer in thought on what they're doing outside of football as well. But yeah, what do you think?
You know what? I see no evidence to say that he wasn't like this before. The thing is, back in his Chelsea days, like they were awesome days overall. Like it never went to crap, like, and that's when things don't work out with Mourinho. Like if he has a bad spell, the tendency is usually for things to get worse. Like he was always amazing at Chelsea. He was always amazing at Porto. He didn't really have bad moments where he had to turn things around. Mourinho is that kind of manager where like I'm about to spend a boatload of money. Let's bring him in. He's going to be he's most likely going to be successful for 2 to 3 seasons, and everyone moves on. That's always been like his thing. Wouldn't you agree, Jem?
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah.
That's his motto, and it's always been his motto. And this is why I think this season, particularly for Spurs, it's very important that they come out with something, because the thing is, if he doesn't, I don't see him being there long. I can see him just drying up and disappearing. But the only thing I would say that's worrying me with him is that he's got them playing and they're winning. And usually when Mourinho is quiet, it's usually because he's happy. Usually you hear a lot of him on the papers or in the news, or he's done this, or he's arguing with that one, or he's been very mellow, and he seems to be getting on with things, and they all seem to be playing for him. And that's the biggest thing. When Mourinho gets players playing for him, he's dangerous. He's a dangerous manager to come up against. It's when he loses the squad, and it happened at Chelsea. They pretty much at the end of his second season pretty much forced him out. They stopped playing for him. He started losing 1-0, which usually his motto was usually to win a game 1-2-0. We started losing games 1-2-0, and you could tell that the players just gave up on him. And I just think it's a big season for Spurs, and that's why Daniel Levy's brought him in, because come on, let's be serious. Their cabinet's pretty empty, isn't it? Like, it makes sense to bring someone like Jose Mourinho in, doesn't it? Who's won it and done everything and been the most successful manager in the last 15 years. I think he is, isn't he?
Do you think
in terms of what he's won?
For Tottenham though, Jem, Charlie, do you think he is actually going to get them a cup, even if it is the Carabao Cup or the?
No.
What's the new one? The Papa John's Cup? Oh no, he's not going to get that.
Mate, this is looking like an interesting season, like the one Leicester won, because all the big clubs are tripping all the time. It's tough to imagine Liverpool being as successful as they have been without Van Dijk or Fabinho later on.
Yes.
If they get like one more, if they lose Robbo, for example, or Mane, like what are they gonna do? They're screwed. they're playing a bunch of kids already. So it's like, if it wasn't Tottenham, they'd actually stand a chance, man, because whatever team finds regularity in this season, they stand a good chance of winning. City hasn't done anything so far. Chelsea, like, it's still early on. They bought half the players in the world, but they got a gel. Arsenal hasn't been a threat in a while. Man United, same thing, and they're a little bit in shambles as well. So they could stand a chance, but it's Tottenham, man. They're not going to win the Prem. Like, I don't see them winning the FA Cup, maybe a Carabao Cup or something, but that's the best thing they've won this century. So maybe they'll get 2.
No, right. Tottenham aren't winning anything, and if they do, all I'll hear is Marcus talking crap. So we can't let that happen, yeah? Tottenham ain't winning nothing. I'm sorry.
You say that, they've got a manager.
Lay off Marcus, dude. Lay off Marcus. Come on. He's not even here to defend himself.
They've got a manager that knows how to win things, and you need to remember that. So even if it's a domestic trophy, like you just said, like a Carabao Cup or whatever, you know, he's probably the most equipped to do that and scrap games in the semi-finals against us or Arsenal or wherever it will be. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So just be aware of that. So all BS aside, yes, they're capable of winning stuff. Like, look at the manager. But I'm just saying, when they do, it's not going to be, obviously, yes, they are capable of winning the Prem, but it's going to take a lot of work. But if they win something outside of the Prem, like the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup or something like that, all the Tottenham fans are going to be like, "Oh yeah, so we've actually won something now." See, you're not trying to say, like, they're just going to adapt onto that. But you look at United, and Chelsea, when they win something that isn't the Prem, do they get overly gassed? No, they don't, because the club sets much higher standards. We're meant to be winning the Prem. You're not trying to say, if we win the Carabao Cup, yes, that's good. And it's not a bad achievement. If we win the FA Cup, that's a little bit of a step higher than the Carabao Cup. We're in the Europa League. Yes, that's also a massive achievement. That's a major. That's
a massive achievement. That's a massive achievement. Yeah. I hate people who call it they call it the Losers' Cup, which is a bit of a disgrace in my opinion. It's not a Losers' Cup. In my opinion, this is controversial. I actually like the warmth of the Europa League more than the Champions League.
You know, it's that much of a Losers' Cup that if you win it, you play the Champions League finalists for the Cup Winners' Cup, which is the best in the world. So how does that one work out?
Yeah, exactly. So if I were to be asked, would you rather watch the Europa League or the Champions League? I'd have to say, in my opinion, Europa League, because I just like the warmth of it. You see the players that don't usually start. You get to see the youth play more. No. Second of all,
it's interesting, right? Because you find out about new players, but it's not a better competition.
Second of all, you guys are going to get off a chair here. The theme is better.
Yeah, whatever. But wait a sec. It's
the
got
music
nothing
theme?
to do.
Yeah,
he's talking about the beginning.
Go on, hum it for us. Go on, I want to hear it.
No.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, like, I'm an Arsenal fan, so I've been watching the Europa League for a couple of years now, but I can't remember the theme. And no. These are the Charlie.
You can't.
Wow, Charlie, you're coming out of the song.
It's that Brazilian-esque voice.
Let's hear the rest of it.
It's just so iconic, you know.
It is. It is a classical music song from, I think, the 18th century.
You can't get any better than the Champions League.
17th century.
It doesn't matter. When you're talking about the competition in general, the best teams in the world play in the Champions League. They don't play in the Europa League. I don't want to watch blimmin' Arsenal versus, who is it? Some crap. I can't even, Sparta Prague team in the second division. I could watch.
We're only playing top teams. Shut up.
Okay. Listen, I love the Champions League, and yes, I prefer it. I'm just saying, what do I warm to more? I realistically do warm to the Europa League more. And then I was watching it and I had no choice to watch it once coming back from there. Before the Corona break, that's when I actually probably fell in love with the Europa League. I just love it, man. It's just such a great league. But it's not better than Champions League. That was an exaggeration. As a Marcus comment, yeah.
Dude,
As you're getting prepared for Man United going to the Europa League next year, aren't you?
No. We're not going. No, we're not going there next year.
No, you're going to relegation at this rate, mate.
Yeah, mate. Like that's the best you can achieve. Like qualifying for Europa League. But the thing is, like in Europa League, like to defend the competition a little bit for all four of us right now. I mean, Gem might disagree with that slightly, but right now I feel like if Arsenal was in the Champions League, like we'd stand no chance of winning that. No chance whatsoever. Not this season.
No,
I don't think Chelsea. Yeah, no, not that part, you asshole.
Oh, right, okay. I was going to stamp my authority on that one and say, yeah, forget that.
I don't think Chelsea stands a chance of winning the Champions League this season. I don't think United. I don't think United can win it this season. So the Europa League, it brings a little bit more like hope, but it's so far like for an English side, the best you can do is win the Champions League, then the Premier League, then the Europa League.
I don't see anyone winning that Champions League other than Bayern Munich. In my eyes, they're just too good, man. When I watch them, they're just a different animal, man. Even Chelsea, we ain't even gelled yet. You know what I mean? That's coming up against them. What's the better competition? And then Charlie was saying about Arsenal, them having a bit of hope of winning it, which he's hoping, isn't he? Because they've never won anything, a European trophy for a long time, ever. Sorry, should I say long time, ever? So. Innit, Charlie?
I think you just got it, Charlie.
You've never seen your team lift a European trophy, have you?
Are you talking about my Brazilian team? No, that would make a lot of sense, but no, I have not.
I've just been a bit silly, mate.
But you did just see that my Brazilian team has twice the trophies you guys do. So.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, does it? If it's some dead league to the best league in the world.
Dude. Okay, that gets personal, because you can't just cuss out an entire country like that. We used to be the best league, bruv, until money was involved. Okay?
How long ago was that?
And can I say, Charlie, that wasn't Fluminense, that was Santos that were the good team back in the day, right?
What?
That Santos dominant team back in the day, weren't they? They come over to Europe with LA and co.
Dude, Pelé just murdered everyone here.
That's it.
Tevez is not Brazil, dude. You're more than welcome to go to Brazil. I'm gonna host you. I'm gonna guide you through the city. I'm gonna murder you.
Actually,
murder you gruesomely. Okay.
Ramirez. But he was at Benfica, wasn't he, to be fair? So, no, I wasn't even there. So.
Benfica's Brazilian. Sorry.
Portuguese.
Ramirez is Brazilian. He was a good player for Chelsea, man.
Yeah, he was, man. He was very good.
The team he played for in Brazil, Cruzeiro, that's a huge side, but they're like in big trouble right now. They're fighting relegation in the second division. They were relegated for the very first time last season, and they're struggling, man. Like they're about to capitulate quite heavily.
Charlie, who's the greatest ever Brazilian footballer that you've seen in your eyes?
That I've seen.
Yeah.
Mate, like that's a tricky question. Are you talking like the best football I've ever seen? That's not even
who's the best
Brazilian.
Yeah, no, just Brazilian. A Brazilian footballer. Who would you say stands out the most for you, like in terms of?
But that's the thing, because the best football I've ever seen was Ronaldinho in those 3 years with Barcelona. I think he was better than Messi back in those days. But career-wise, mate, career-wise, it's tough not to say Dani Alves. Like the guy has the most trophies out of every player that ever lived. So you got to put some respect to his name. He wasn't that remarkable. Like we've had Ronaldo, we've had Rivaldo. I've watched all of them, but Dani Alves won so much, and he's a right back. Like he's not going to be talked about as much.
What did you think about Kaká when he was in his prime?
Kaká was phenomenal, man, and it's such a shame because in most of the Brazilian players' cases, like they're not really considered as being as good as they should have been because of their mentality. Yeah. Ronaldinho, for example, like he was the most talented player I've ever seen, but at some point he just gave up. He wanted to come to Brazil. He literally like he was part of he sang a song. Like he made a song with a bunch of artists about drinking, and he was still a professional player. So usually it's the mentality that gets them. With Kaká, it was injuries, man. Like he was phenomenal.
He was my favourite Brazilian player ever. For me, I loved that guy. When he was at AC Milan, he was phenomenal, man. That guy. I remember that guy playing against Argentina, running the whole end of the pitch with Messi chasing him, and then running around the goal and scoring.
Mate, he was so good, and he looked like a Chelsea player as well. Like I feel like if he played in the Premier League, he probably would have played for Chelsea.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So just to wrap it up now, guys, Gem, who are Chelsea playing again in Champions League this week?
So we got Rennes on Wednesday and then Sheffield United on Saturday.
Ooh, and Man United have got I can't even remember the name.
Some random team.
You got Başakşehir, which are a Turkish team. Istanbul, Başakşehir.
We have Everton on Saturday.
Oh, you got Everton. That's a big game.
We're gonna get slapped.
No, you say that.
No.
They have no Richarlison or James, man. Or are they gonna be back?
I don't know.
Listen,
if they ain't 4-0, Man United.
All right. Listen, like I said, right, and this is the truth. I said, I see the future, yeah. And obviously, yes, we were on that run that's now ended because you lost to Arsenal. Gem, Marley, and Matt, you all said to me, be positive. You guys are on good form, right? I said, you guys know before you guys said that, I said we'd lose that game. What happened? We lost. And if I say we're going to lose again against Everton, we'll lose. Yeah,
but you're just being negative, man. No, your team are on a bit. Your team won and drew against Chelsea and won 2 games that they should never. Well, not say should never won. They deserve to win. PSG, they absolutely dominated, and that is not an easy. They're a giant. They're a big outfit. Do you know what I mean?
Gem,
you need to bear it in mind.
He's protecting himself. He's just protecting himself. If he calls for a loss, nothing's going to disappoint him. By the way, City's playing Olympiacos in the Champions League. Then they're playing Liverpool in the weekend. City and Liverpool next weekend.
Never do the Nostradamus thing ads and try and predict the future because
you guys are too positive.
You're too negative.
I'm not
bro.
positive. No, I'm an Arsenal
I'm realistic.
fan. I'm not positive.
There's a difference between realistic and negative. If I'm negative, I'm going to say, we're going to lose every single game. I said we'll beat Istanbul, right? Easily. But this is, you put Arsenal squad compared to Everton squad. It's roughly the same. And yes, Aubameyang did score. No. Listen. You put you take out James Rodriguez.
The kid has no respect, dude.
You don't play Decore and you don't play Richarlison. Yes, you only have Calvert-Lewin, but what's he going to do? If there's no service in the midfield, how's he going to grab the ball?
I'm just
saying, we will lose against Everton. I'm saying that now, we'll lose. That's not being negative. That's realistic. We'll lose.
You just said Everton's better than Arsenal.
Oh, they are.
In history or just now?
No, why would I say in history? That's Marcus' comment.
I just wanted to check. Right now.
He's had his Zagal potion today, I think.
No. Everton, in my opinion, as a squad, they play better football than Arsenal. And if you look at the team sheets, they come across as more dangerous than Arsenal.
They have been playing better football than Arsenal, but if you compare the teams, I take 2 or 3 players from Everton. It's not like their team is better than ours.
I think
11 versus 11. No.
In my opinion, I think they have 2-3 good players in every single line on the pitch. I think they have about 3 good centre backs.
It'd be good to compare, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would be, and I think next time it will come together. I think we should do a combined 11 for Arsenal and Everton, and I'm sure it'd be blue, mate.
Why are you putting us in the same standard as Everton? No,
but you're crap,
dude.
You're crap.
No,
sorry.
You're fighting relegation, bruv. What are you on?
But our squad is better. Our squad is better. Our team sheet is better. Our team is better. We just don't play better. Football? No, oh my God. Listen, okay, you have Rashford, Pogba, Bruno, Fred, fucking Marcus Rashford, Wan-Bissaka, all better than the players at your club. Bellerin compared to Wan-Bissaka. Bellerin's dead. Old man, fashion designer or some shit like that.
I'll give you Bissaka, sure. Go ahead.
Wan-Bissaka compared to Bellerin shit. You compare You compare. Okay, here's one for you. You compare Lindelof and Maguire to your centre backs. Your centre backs take that. That's fair enough. This is turning into combined 11. You put our left
And
back
y'all
compared
paid
to
y'all paid
yours.
like
No,
100
no,
million
no.
for
I can't agree with that. I would have Maguire
You
in
put
that
your
team still, 100%.
Maguire.
You put
Maguire.
your
Yeah.
Yo, Maguire pays for
I would.
3 G-Mags. And G-Mag
Doesn't
is like
matter.
twice the defender
he gets.
is.
The only reason he gets criticised as much as he does is because he's English. Yeah, and to be fair to him, he is still a decent defender. He's not crap.
The only reason why he costs so
this-
much is because he's English.
Yeah, but Charlie's better than David Luiz, and he's better than Mustafi, and he's so he's not better than Gabriel. I'll give you that one, but them two should be together.
Yeah,
that's what I'd say.
At home when you say David Luiz to Charlie. Not happy about that, Charlie. I know you wouldn't be.
No, but he knows.
No, I don't. I'm not a fan of David Luiz. He's got graceful hair, but other than that, like,
he used to be
like
good. He used to be good. He used to be, but he's not anymore.
He's always been really inconsistent, man. Like he's never been like a good player throughout a season ever. That never happened.
Okay, how about
and as of now, Maguire really hasn't, has he? But people still call him good. So let's give Luiz credit. He's, in my opinion, as a whole, overall career, he's better than Maguire. As of now, he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Listen, you can't play David Luiz in a back four. It doesn't work.
No,
I'm telling you now.
No one wants. I wouldn't want to.
Yo, if you're playing a back four, you better play David Luiz as a CDM because that's the best you can do. He sucks as a back four CB, man. He sucks.
But that's why I'll choose. That's why I'll choose Maguire and Gabriel personally in a back four.
I mean, Maguire can play in a back four, but he still messes up like most games. Man, like he's been making so many mistakes. I don't get it.
He has.
I honestly.
But then I think we forget very easily that at the end of last season, going back into when we come back from COVID, they had the best defensive record in the league, or second best defensive record in the league with Maguire playing. So it's easy to forget that, he did put a good run of form together. Yes, he haven't been as strong this season. I get that. But he's not crap. It's hard to sit there and say he's crap. Do you know what I mean? He's not world class. He's just good for the standard of defenders that you've got in this league, because the standard of defenders you've got in this league is crap anyway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There is no standard other than Van Dijk, isn't there? What else is there?
So, guys, to quickly end it off, let's ask all of your opinions. Who's your favourite player so far this season at the moment? And you don't have to be biased and pick someone from your own club. You can say anybody you want from any league in the world.
Ooh.
Who's your favourite player so far this season?
Give Gem and me 5 minutes because I can't pick.
I'm going to be honest, actually. It's as much as I love all my players, and I love how Kai Havertz has started, to be honest. I think he's elegant, he's good, he's good. But I'm going to say James at Everton. Like, that guy, since he's been playing, has stood out so much for me. Like, he's been assisting, scoring. Like, he's just been the buy of the season so far for me at the moment.
Huh?
How about you? No, he's like, I don't even know. Like,
no. I know there's quite a few, but I'm gonna have to say Rodriguez as well. I think he's bitterly underrated. I think he's bitterly underrated. I feel like he deserves to start whenever he's fit. I generally think he strives to be the best at Everton right now, and if he's doing that, then that will possibly push on the other players to dominate the game as well. So I'm gonna say Rodriguez.
How about you, Charlie? What you saying? Who's your favourite player at the moment that you've seen in any league in the world? You can say Brazilian league. It's okay. You're cool with that?
Yeah. It's not a Brazilian league player. I'd probably don't laugh. I'd probably go with Haaland. He's the kid just doesn't stop scoring. He's so young. By the way, you mentioned Havertz. He's one of my favorite players, like probably my favorite player to play with on FIFA. I was so pissed when he joined you. I hope he flops immensely, but dude, like the guy reaches 99 every single career mode I do. I was so bummed out when you guys bought him.
Do you know what it is with Kai Havertz? I think he's got something different about him. I can't explain what it is, but he's so elegant with the ball, man. Like he
is.
People think he's slow. He's not slow. Trust
He's
me. When the
unique.
guy's got the ball at his feet, he's
unique.
unique.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's strong. He's technically so gifted as well with the ball at his feet. Like he can get round players. He's good, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
Let me ask you
really
something. If Matt thinks I have the time to ask Gem a question.
Yeah.
Because I've watched Chelsea like plenty of times this season already, but definitely not as much as you. Does he do anything going back? Because the thing with Kai Havertz is like he's very much a goal scoring cam. Like that's his best position.
Yeah.
The best way for him to play is with, like, he'd be amazing at Liverpool, for example, playing behind Firmino.
Yeah.
But that's like what he does best. Like, he's not a number 9. He's not a winger. He's a goal-scoring cam. He's not going to assist as much. He's going to be scoring most of the goals. But that's a position that doesn't really exist as much in, like, modern football. You look at De Bruyne, who's definitely the best cam in the world. Like, he does a shift. Like, he does everything. How is Kai Havertz going back? To
be honest, I've not seen him. I mean, he does a job. I've watched him in games where he's been caught out of position a couple of times, where his knowledge. And do you know what it is with Kai Havertz? And I think we forget very quickly with him. He's so young still. Like the guy's got so much to add to his game, and he's come to Chelsea. And I feel like under Lampard, he's going to try and improve in areas that maybe his defensive side. If, like, I watched this against Burnley the other day, and we played a Kante holding, but then a double pivot of Mount and Kai. But what Kai had to do a lot in the game was play a deeper role rather than, like you said, play as a cam close to Werner up the pitch and try and link up with him. And he played very well. I was very impressed. He was holding his positions well. He knew when to go with the ball, and then he was learning when to get back in position. And it seems like he's just slowly just trying to get used to that and progress to that. And he's going to take time. He's young. He's going to make mistakes. I'm expecting that. I mean, he's a baby.
He's like adds his age. Yeah, he's young.
Yeah, he's a baby. So no, I'm just excited, super excited for him, man. I really am.
I'm excited for you guys as well, man. He's an exciting player.
Thank you so much for coming on today. We'll have to end it. We can go all night, can't we? Really?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on. Do you want to shout out all your social medias and let everybody know where you are?
Yeah. So on Twitter, CFC_Gem, and then on Instagram, Gem_04.
Ads.
Oh, Charlie. Oh, all right. I'll go next. Adzil's on Twitter, ADZILLZ. Find me on Twitch with that name as well. On YouTube, Realist_AC as well, mate.
Thank you.
All right. You can find me on Twitter at Marley Chillin on Twitter. So at Charlie Millen, but just reverse the first consonants there. And I'm on Instagram as well. I see no point in you looking me up, but sure, I'm there. Charlie Millen 93 all together. Maybe I'll start doing some stuff. But thank you so much for letting me be here, Matt. Like, I enjoyed myself, and hopefully we can do something together soon.
Yeah, it'd be good to have you guys on again. Like, I mean, obviously we have Gem, Ads, I've talked to Ads a lot as well, and Charlie, we talk quite a hell of a lot on WhatsApp there. It's a shame that everybody else couldn't hang out tonight and have a chat. But thank you so much, and hopefully we'll get you on in the next couple of weeks.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you.
Cheers, guys. See you later.